Hopefully. Yep. Cool. Live from the middle of Kansas. Oh, come on. The dog bed's in the way. That's fine. Sorry. Trying to roll my chair forward and it just didn't want to roll forward. There we go. I think that's as good as it's going to get. Okay, now that I am settled in, I can be somewhat professional. So this is, excuse me. Sorry, I'm drinking a beer tonight, so so this is the piece that I'm going to be working on today. I was supposed to work on a different piece. Where is it? It's not these two. I'll open it up. There it is. I was supposed to work on this one, but I finished it. So yeah, it's all done, and I'm really happy with it. I think all the details came together how I envisioned. Especially like I was really nervous about how I was going to get this drool to work, and I think it just looks so moist. It's awful. It's awful, and I love it because I feel like it does give that idea of like wet, gross drool nastiness, which is not something that I'm used to drawing. So, yeah. I'm just gonna do a quick sound check here to make sure. Yep. Cool. All right. I have chat up. So yeah, I think it really came together quite nicely. So anyway, I'll be adding that to my shop. Hopefully tonight after the stream, but we'll see. But that's not what I'm working on. I am working on just a minute. Chat. Hi, chat. You'll be my chat, won't you? Anyway, hopefully I'll get that up in the shop later tonight. So this is the piece that I'm going to work on tonight. Obviously, it's not the other one because it's not, or it's done. So I had already started this one back during Inktober, which is the theme of most of the pieces that I've been doing on these live streams. But I felt like I could do a better job on it than I had been doing. So I really want to try a totally different approach than what I've been doing on my digital paintings, and that is I want to make it look less flat. I talked about that a lot in the Mimic, where like I really wanted to push that texture and make sure that like the texture came across and it wasn't just flat and totally cartoony. So that's what I'm going for here. I'm trying to go for more of a, just a second. Trying to go for a more traditional looking traditional art looking piece rather than a digital looking piece. So I'm going to try not to erase. I'm going to try to, well, not erase, but I'm going to try to use a more traditional approach to the piece than I was before, than I did the first time. I think the first time looked fine. It's just I know that I can do better than I did. So really hoping to make this look really nice and look really good, because I really like this piece, and I know my husband likes this piece because he's asked me about it, so I must finish it. I want it to look good when I do. So that's the plan. That's the approach that I'm going to take it with. I was really trying to get to know these oil paint brushes. I always want to do stuff with them, but then I never end up doing anything with them because they're so what's the right word? I'm not sure what the right word is. They're just hard. I like to have a lot of control, and I don't feel like I have as much control with them, and so that makes them harder for me. But that's my own, like, my issue as an artist, not an issue with necessarily the brush. I think if I play around with them long enough, I'll figure it out. And that's kind of what I want to push with this piece, is just trying to familiarize myself with these more wet brushes. Shoot, is that me or is that my phone? The internet has been unkind to me today. Oh my gosh, stop yawning. It's terrible. Okay, well, StreamYard seems to be doing all right, so at least there's that. Let me get a nice base of purple on here with all of the what's it called? The values. Let me get all the values. This is going to be my shadow layer. Then I'll do another layer on top that'll be, you can't see my hands. You cannot see my hands. Do shadows on this layer. Then I'll do highlights on the next layer. I might add a mid-tone layer if I feel like the piece needs it. If it doesn't need it, I won't add it. If it does, then I will. But at this juncture, I'm thinking probably shadows, highlights, color correction. My goal is to not have any of the lines left over by the end. I want to have a completely lineless, very, I don't want to say painterly again, just very, I still want it to be tight and very recognizable is what it is. It's a portrait, it's a bust, but I want to make it, I don't want to have those lines there. I want to get rid of the lines. I don't want to have to rely on the lines. Is this the next evolution in my art where I finally go lineless? Maybe. It's like taking off training wheels, though. It's very hard. You don't want to take them off because you're scared to, but at some point you have to. I feel like lines have been my training wheels. I love line art. Like, I love when line art elevates a piece, but a lot of the times I feel like my line art holds me back from having a piece that could be it could be better, but the line art kind of kills it for me. And maybe that's just a deficiency in my line art. I don't know. But whatever it is, I'm going to try this lineless idea and see how that goes. I got to do take away the lines. Oop. Yeah, I should probably add a gray background here too. So when I take away the lines, it's not clear. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so I think once I get like the major structures in and everything, then I think I want to take the lines away and then push it from that point. But until I get those details really solidified and in where I want them, I want to keep the lines. I also think it would probably behoove me to do some of these pieces, like this collar piece, the necklace, and this shoulder piece. It might be helpful to do those on a separate layer from the chest, because I think that'll help me to blend out the chest and the neck, or the shoulders and the neck better. And then I can move on to those. So, and I think for right now, I want to ignore the hair. Maybe I don't. No, you know what? I probably don't want to ignore the hair, but I do think I want to put it on another layer. It is going to be important to put labels. Yeah, so I'm going to do that. And since I'm going to do it that way, I am going to erase, or at least like buff out some of these details that I put in already, because I don't want under layers affecting the upper layers and then going, which layer is this on? Why can't I figure it out? Erase. Not that I'm worried about the canvas getting messy, because I'm pretty sure this canvas is going to get to be a mess, but I just don't want those to get in the way later. There we go. Okay, now I can go back in. Connect these lines again. What? Oh, because I'm on the gray. Oops. What is wrong? Why is I messing it up and not fixing it? Because I was in the wrong color. Okay. There we go. Now I can connect that and just make that a lot smoother. Connect this. And then when I put that decorative piece over top, I think it'll work much better. It'll flow better, it'll look better, and I think overall this is just going to be a better way to do it. I don't know. I could be lying. I'm not lying. I could be wrong. I don't know yet. I'll find out with everyone else. That or some poor digital artist will find this and watch it later and be like, oh my gosh, stop doing it that way. You're doing it totally wrong. That artist could be me someday. Why would you do that? You idiot. Absolute fool. Oh, well. Anyway, tomorrow's Turkey Day. Very exciting. Staying home. First time doing Thanksgiving on our own as a family, not with the rest of the bigger family, but we will do that, and it'll be interesting. I don't know if we're gonna necessarily have like a big meal, but we're gonna eat and probably hang out and maybe play some games or do stuff with the boys. I'm not sure. We'll see. We shall see. Okay, yeah, I think I like that chest much better now that I've removed that. I do think that that makes it just that much easier. So now that I've messed up that whole thing, I need to come in here and I need to remove this. And remove this. The nice thing about digital art is that you can erase things and they do go away. No one ever sees them again if you don't want them to. You don't want to see that anymore. You're good. You're done. It's gone. It's over. Erased. If you do want to keep it, then don't erase. But on that front, when it comes to digital versus traditional, editing is a glorious thing. Of course, now I can edit all of my traditional paintings too, because I can just scan them in and put them in Krita and mess around with them until they look the way that I want them to. I try not to do too much editing with traditional pieces that I've put on the computer. I try to mostly focus on just like, okay, I need this piece to look good digitized so I can get it made into a print. Which I haven't done yet. I've never had prints made, but someday soon maybe someone will buy a print off my store. We'll see. I gotta get eyes first. That's the first thing. Eyes. If I can get eyeballs, that'll help. I'm just not a very good salesman. I'm a terrible salesman. I just had to do that, like, go door to door and sell useless things nobody needs in middle school to raise money for our school. And I was really bad at it and hated doing it. But I wanted to win the prizes. But I didn't want to go door to door and try to sell people crap. I hate selling crap. The magazines were the worst. Oh my gosh. These magazines were awful. It was like, just sign up 10 people to receive magazines from us. Yeah, thanks. I'll go sign Grandma up for spam mail right away. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. I think I want to do some more refinement on the face now. And go from there. These pens, these brushes are really funky. Which brings me to brushes. Digital brushes. Now, I haven't paid for any paid digital brushes because I haven't committed that far to digital art to appreciate like fancy digital brushes, I guess, which might help me if I did. I mean, certainly has helped with my traditional art to have paid for brushes, but the brushes I want Jazza. Jazza. Your brush back. I want it. And it was like, Critter. It'll be supported by Critter. And then it was like, oh, no, actually, we can't guarantee they'll work right on Critter. I'm like, no, Critter's what I use. And at this point, I'm not ready to switch to anything else. I am not going to switch right now to any other program because, like, why would I? Krita works great for me. I like it. I'm getting to know it. I'm finally comfortable with it. So why would I switch to anything else? And then I find out that Jazz's brush pack isn't available. I mean, it's available. You can download it, but it's not guaranteed to work. I love Jazza. He makes cool stuff. I need to watch his latest videos. He had one that was like biblically accurate art, and I'm like, oh, I need to watch that because I bet that's really funny. The Bible has some really weird stuff in it. I mean, I swear I could sit here for like hours and just play with like the shadow on this chin, which sounds really boring to watch, so I won't submit you to that. But I feel like I could sit here for hours and do that because that's the way it is. So tonight, for my drinky, I am drinking KC beer. That's beer with an I because they put the I back in beer. KC Beer Company, not sponsored. I'm not big enough to have sponsors yet. Are you kidding me? But if KC Beer Company does want to sponsor me, I will gladly take it. Anyway, I'm drinking their Pure Pills, German style Pilsner. It's really good. I like it a lot. I am a beer person because I am a German. And I also appreciate whiskey. I think I've drank that on stream a few times. Not that I actually have to tell you people when I'm drinking or eating because you can't see me, but you know, it's fun to share and talk about these things. I've actually done the beer tour at KC Beer Company. It's really cool. It was a fun thing to do. There are lots of fun things to do here in Kansas City. More people should come to Kansas City because it's pretty great here. And we need to justify that brand new airport we put in. So, I mean, I think we did a pretty good job justifying it with the draft. The NBA draft, or not NBA. Wow, I haven't even finished my beer yet. The NFL. That's what it was, the NFL draft. But whenever people come to Kansas City that I know, I always give them the tour. I'm like, let's go here and here and here and here. And, oh, yeah, this is a really cool place over here that I found. And oh my gosh, you like that thing? Hey, there's that thing in Kansas City. I love doing that. I love showing people around, taking them fun places, and enjoying themselves in a city that I know quite well now. That happens when you live somewhere for a while. You tend to get to know it. And I have gotten to know Kansas City pretty well. I do say so myself. It's not hard to like Kansas City either. This nose area is the spot that's going to give me the most problems. I already can tell. I already know that. I knew that before I even started working on this piece, that the nose was going to be the problem area. It's like, I am going to struggle with that nose because, of course, I'm going to struggle with the nose. It's always the part I struggle with. Noses are hard because they're right in the middle of the face. And apparently, you recognize someone, or most easily, the place that you look at a person, as in the scientific studies that I read about somewhere on the internet at some point in time, so I could be wrong. But apparently, the place that you look when you're looking to identify someone is you look right there. Isn't that random? It's like you're looking for Marilyn Monroe's beauty mark. It's like, oh, is Marilyn Monroe's beauty mark there? It isn't? Okay, cool. It's not Marilyn Monroe. I'm kidding. Norma Jean didn't have a beauty mark. She painted it on, and it moves around. She was a good actress. I like Marilyn Monroe. What's that? What was that movie? Was it Gentlemen Prefer Blondes? No. There's this one Marilyn Monroe movie. I think it might be Gentlemen Prefer Blondes. I don't remember. Dang, I don't remember. Anyway, I'll say the plot and then maybe I'll remember as I go. But there's these two guys, and Marilyn Monroe is not the main character. She's like the secondary female character. But she plays a great character. Anyway, so these two guys, they accidentally stumble on a gang, on gang information, and they have to escape the city and get out, go somewhere where no one knows them so that they can escape from the gang, right? And so, because they're both musicians, what they do is they join an all women's orchestra. They join this all women's orchestra, and Marilyn Monroe is the singer. Her character is the singer, and so these guys are dressed in drag the entire time, but like they're also like falling for Marilyn Monroe's character, so they're like simultaneously trying to like woo her, but also like, oh yes, we're just part of the girls, and the gang is on them, like trying to find them and stuff. It's a hoot of a movie. I think it might be Gentlemen Prefer Blondes. I could be wrong. It's been so long since I've seen that movie. I used to watch all kinds of old movies like that. Marilyn Monroe, Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers. If you like dancing, look up Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers and their roller skating dance. Oh my gosh. So amazing. Because they're literally dancing on roller skates. They're tap dancing on roller skates. Who does that? Fred Astaire, of course. Now, Ginger Rogers didn't do her own taps most of the time. I think she did sometimes, but not most of the time. I think most of the time her taps were dubbed in by another dancer. But Fred Astaire, he did all his own taps. Oh my gosh. And then there's the dance he does with a coat rack. Oh my gosh, his coat rack dance is amazing. Because he makes the coat rack look good. He makes the coat rack look good. It's like, yes, I'm dancing with a coat rack. Isn't the coat rack good at dancing? He was talented. I'm gonna go with that nose for now. I'll probably come back and play with it a little bit more later, but for right now, I think I'm gonna call that. Move on to the mouse. Now, let's do this one. Top lip shape that I go to, my go-to top lip shape, my go-to eye shape. Go-to nose shape. And that can be bad because then you get same face syndrome where all of your drawings look the same, like they're the same person. So you try to differentiate them. Although I probably don't do a good enough job because I really do like to sit in my comfort zone and just stay there. But it's easy to do. It's comfortable in my comfort zone. I like it in there. All right. Definitely want to come in and do more darker shadows than what I'm putting in now. Right now, I just want to really rough in where I want the shadows to be. Trying to remember that I don't have to have everything perfect before I move on to the next area. Because I don't want to get one area so refined and then And the other thing that I want to be aware of is that I don't want to have harsh lines between my elements. I want there to be that nice organic flow. I want these lips to not look like they're hovering over the face where lips would be. I want them to look like they're a part of this face. I think that's something that I've struggled with in the past, where I've had like, oh yes, and then I've drawn on lips, and then they look like they're floating over top of where they should be, and they're not actually like a part of they don't feel cemented, they don't feel connected to the face. I want to make sure that I don't do that. I feel like that's really easy to do, especially in some of the ways that I've done digital drawings before. Like I said, I really want to make this one look less flat, more painted. Excuse me. More painted, less flat, more organic. Try to loosen up a little bit because I can get really tight with my drawings. And then everything's just really stiff. And I don't want this to be a stiff drawing. I really want a softness to this drawing. I think I'm getting there. Slowly but surely, I'm achieving that goal. Once in a while, I just want to take those lines away. Oh my, that eye is up much higher than the other eye. Let's fix that. I've got some more lines I can come in here and clean up. I'm really trying to implement that don't use the eraser, use the pen, or use the brush you're using on the rest of the painting to erase your stuff you need erased. I'm really trying to embrace that. It's hard though. It's really hard because I just want to grab my eraser. This is not an easy thing to erase with. In general, not easy to erase with. Go back later and do that. Okay, so let's fix this eye because this one eye is way higher than the other. I don't know. It looks like it was always that way, which is kind of funny. Oh, dear, I do have a suggestion for what we should do when I'm done. I think that we should watch John Wick tonight. We haven't watched it yet, and I think it's time. I think we should do that tonight because you don't have to work in the morning, and we're not going anywhere. The kids are asleep. We should watch John Wick tonight. That's my suggestion. If you don't want to tonight, that's fine. That's fine. It's just, that's my thought. For our anniversary, that was this month, we can watch John Wick and find out who killed his dog this last time. I'm glad you agree with that. I'll try to slow down on my beer, so I have a little bit of beer left. Do we have any popcorn? Should have popcorn. Popcorn and a movie. You took Everett to a movie. Now you need to take me to a movie. And by take me to a movie, I mean take me upstairs to the game room so I can watch a movie with you. I don't know that with this forehead, I really, on the original drawing, I don't feel like I actually accomplished the goal of getting that tilted back look to the head. And I think that's probably because I have too much forehead up here. I think if I cut off the forehead right here, like right above this eye, and push this, well, no, then I pushed it up. Maybe I just need to take like just a little bit off the top, or maybe even just like curve it in a little bit more, or maybe just bring the hair down. I could just bring the hair down and leave it. Leave the forehead alone because the hair will cover the forehead and I can just bring the hair down as far as I need to. That's what I could do. Let me do that. Some of these rough areas in the cheeks all together a little bit smoother. Maybe really delicate with them. Delicate. Delicate is the name of this piece. It's the most important thing I can do is be delicate, be soft-handed. I need help with my titles of my live streams. I don't think they're catching enough. I mean, I know they're not catchy enough. I don't think they're interesting enough. But I'm not a very good hype person. I need to get better at that. There's a lot of things I need to get better at for this. I said all I'd have to do as an artist was draw art. Now I find I have to do my own advertising. I have to do my own marketing. I just want to draw pretty pictures. What was that? Spin. The guild leader from Fairy Tale. Spin! Spin! You make me so mad. Spin! I think Probably. So if I bring this brow bone down, I think that will help to foreshorten that forehead too. Bigger. A little bit more. Oops. Still erasing. I was like, why is it not adding more color? It's taking it away because it was on eraser mode. There we go. Let's see. Yeah, I think that helps a lot. I think that helps a lot. Let's do that on this side too. Just bring that brow bone down just a little bit. I think I need to. I really want to do as much as I possibly can with this one brush. I know I probably can't do the whole painting with this brush, but I want to do as much of the painting as possible with this brush to give it that cohesion. But also kind of to see how far I can push one brush too. I've seen that. I saw like an artist who did a drawing challenge for themselves where they only used a round brush. They could change the size and the opacity and stuff, but they could only use like one preset brush. I thought that was a really cool challenge, and they ended up drawing something really cool. And I thought that was really interesting to see, like, how someone could come up with something, could draw a beautiful painting with just a single brush. Digital. It was a digital painting. I mean, a lot of my traditional paintings are done with very few brushes. Because I really like my silver black velvet brush. Still looking for my silver black velvet brush digitally. Where is my silver black velvet digital brush? Where is that brush that I just have to use in every piece? Old reliable brush that just does what I need it to do and is just a great workhorse. That's what I'm looking for. And maybe if I do more exercises like this, maybe I'll find it. Maybe I'll develop my style more. Certainly working on my digital painting skills. Definitely learned a lot. Okay. So there's that. I think that eye is still too high. It is still higher than the other eye. That is really bothering me. Like, I brought it down and it still looks too high. I wonder if I flip it around if it's still going to look too high. Now it's too low. Now I can tell that. I can tell. They look even, but for some reason this one looks lower. Is it because this cheek is more defined? Maybe that's the problem. Maybe that's the problem, is that this other cheek is much more defined and this one is just a little bit more hazy. It hasn't been as refined. That's almost time to be done already. Dang. I'm not going to go over an hour tonight. It's just you and me anyway. And I want to watch a movie, so I don't see a reason to go over an hour. Anyway, did I ask you about popcorn? I don't remember if I asked you about popcorn. Do we have popcorn? I don't know. Actually, I don't know if I want popcorn. I might not want popcorn. Probably one of those things where if you set it down in front of me, I'll eat it. But it's like, whether I need it or not. Okay. I think I'm going to call that good on the face for now. This eye is still bothering the heck out of me, but I'm just not, it's not coming, so I'm not going to force it. Instead, I'm going to turn to this ear. And work on it instead. Hmm. I've gone quiet, haven't I? I'm sorry. I really need to not go quiet. Sometimes it's hard when I'm concentrating to talk about stuff. Like, no, I need to talk while I draw. Sometimes I think that's why sometimes like last night where I was just like, oh, I wanna keep working on this. I was in a groove. I was like, I don't want to stop because I'm in a groove and I'm accomplishing things and I have a vision for how I want this to look right now and I don't want to lose that. Wow, that looks so much higher when you take away the sketch. Oh my gosh, that looks so much higher. It looks awful. Oh my gosh, I can't leave it that way. It's terrible. It's so obvious how high up it is. Once I took that away, I was like, oh, I'm having a really hard time seeing whether or not this is even or not. It was like, take away
We do have popcorn.
We do have popcorn? Oh, sweet. Do you want popcorn? I'm kind of meh. At first I thought, I was like, oh, yes, I'll take popcorn. And then I was like,
I don't really feel like I need it.
Okay. We can do without it tonight then. It's a pretty long movie, so if we change our mind, we can always come and get some. Anyway, I think I'm going to call this good for tonight because that eye is just kicking my butt. Every time I look at it, I realize how much higher it is than the other one, and I'm like, but then it looks not right.
Mm.
Now this one looks much higher. I don't know. I need to stop looking at it, I think.
It'd be really funny
if
you had your canvas tilted.
I don't. It's straight on. It's just not quite right. What do you think, though? Does it look...
I'm excited to see how it looks when it's done.
It's very different than what I've done before.
Yeah. When you're pulled back, it doesn't really look like it's that far off from each other.
The eyes?
Yeah.
Well, I've messed around with them, too.
Yeah.
So that helps.
We're gonna go find a koozie.
A koozie?
Yeah.
Okay. There's one in my art room, except that the boys took Everett took the zipper off.
Again?
The zipper pull, yes, he did again. You are not going to beat our son. Don't say that on YouTube. He's not actually going to do that. All right. That's it. I'm going to call it right there. I am going to go watch John Wick with my husband. So I will be back Friday night, Saturday night. We'll see. One of those two. Anyway. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Bye.